Madhu was a 23-year-old receptionist living in Delhi. She was originally from Gwalior, but she had been living with her mother in Delhi for about 15 years. Madhu's father used to live in Gwalior. Even after being called many times, her father had not come to meet Madhu for the last 15 years. Madhu's mother used to go to Gwalior often, but she used to make some excuses and always refused Madhu to go to Gwalior, and that's why Madhu was very upset with her parents. One day, when Madhu's mother and sister were in Gwalior, Madhu took a leave from her hotel and made a plan to go to Gwalior and surprise everyone. But as soon as Madhu reached the Gwalior house, her mother heard her. It seemed as if something terrible had happened. Madhu's mother got very scared, and she begged Madhu to go back to Delhi. Madhu found this very strange. She told her mother that she has come to meet her father, and she will not go anywhere without meeting him. It was late at night. Madhu's mother tried to convince her, but Madhu did not listen. It was very late at night, but her father had not come home yet, nor was his phone ringing. Madhu's mother was very upset, and she was still begging Madhu to go back. Hearing her mother's words, Madhu's heart broke. She felt that maybe her father did not want to meet her, and so she listened to her mother, and she was about to leave for the railway station. Suddenly, she felt dizzy, and she fell unconscious at the doorstep of the house. That night, she had a dream that her father was stuck in a whirlpool in Gwalior Fort, and he was looking for Madhu. And while looking for her, he reached the roof of Gwalior Fort. Then he saw a girl there. She looked like Madhu. But as soon as her father reached him, he saw that she was not Madhu, but a terrible woman who had no head. And as soon as he saw this, he fell down from the roof of Gwalior Fort. As soon as he fell down, Madhu screamed, "Papa!" and Madhu fell asleep. It was morning, and there was a crowd at her house. Madhu's mother told her that last night, Madhu's father jumped off the roof of Gwalior Fort and committed suicide. When Madhu heard this, she was heartbroken. After everyone left, she immediately took her mother aside and started telling her about her dream. And then her mother told Madhu something that made Madhu's soul tremble. Actually, 15 years ago, when Madhu was small, her parents took her to Gwalior Fort. That day, there was a lot of crowd in the fort. Because of this, little Madhu separated from her parents. She got stuck on the lowest floor of Man Singh Palace. The underground was a place in Gwalior Fort where very few people used to go. That place is often closed at night because people say that in that place of Gwalior Fort at night, the souls of the kings and queens, due to all these things, Madhu's parents' fear was increasing. But still, they told the guards that their daughter Madhu is inside. They all started looking for Madhu. Then Madhu, who was sitting inside, suddenly heard a song. He got up and went towards the song. Suddenly, Madhu saw a shadow walking in front of her. When Madhu called out to her, the shadow disappeared in the air. Then Madhu felt as if someone was standing behind her. She turned around and saw a woman in a white lehenga standing in front of her. Seeing that woman's terrifying face, little Madhu screamed. Her half face was not there, and she had bruises on her hands and legs. Seeing this, Madhu got very scared and ran into her room. She locked the door from inside and started crying loudly. Then, she heard the sound of the wall creaking. She saw the same woman sitting in a corner of the room and chanting some mantras on the wall. She had a white powder in her hand. Seeing her, Madhu froze. Then, the woman slowly turned her face and started running towards Madhu. She looked into Madhu's eyes and applied that white powder on her forehead. Madhu started feeling dizzy and fainted there. The next morning, Madhu's unconscious body found itself at the same point from where her father had jumped. After this, Madhu did not wake up. Her parents took her to many doctors, but no one could understand why she was unconscious. She was breathing, but she could not open her eyes. It felt like she was in a coma. Then, Madhu's mother called a priest who told Madhu that she was cursed by a dead maid of the palace, whose soul is wandering there to take revenge of her death. He told her that a demon is living inside Madhu and he will kill her gradually. Madhu's father loved her a lot and he did everything to save his daughter. He asked the priest to find a solution. He said that in order to save Madhu from the evil soul inside her, someone has to sacrifice himself, and that person has to enslave the soul in which she may die. Madhu's father said that he will enslave the soul, but he will not let anything happen to Madhu. The priest did a huge puja in which Madhu and her parents were together. During the puja, when Madhu opened her eyes were red and she was cursing the priest. Suddenly, the priest cast a red chili powder on her, and Madhu became unconscious. In a few moments, Madhu's father also became unconscious. When Madhu regained consciousness, she was completely fine. The priest asked the priest to take Madhu far away from Gwalior, and that's why Madhu's mother took her to Delhi, because her father was now a slave of the evil soul. And that's why he could not leave Gwalior. After Madhu's death, the curse of the evil soul started affecting her father. Her father lost his job and he became very ill. But when Madhu came back to Gwalior, the evil soul wanted to kill Madhu, but in return, her father gave his life to the evil soul. After listening to her mother, Madhu started crying and apologizing to her mother. Madhu's mother felt pity for her and she hugged her daughter. She told Madhu that her father loved her a lot and wanted to protect her in any condition. After this incident, Madhu and her mother left Gwalior forever,